Okay.
I did not receive any emails to my student.
Let me look what it says. Nope, didn't want to do that. Go that over there. I'll throw out an announcement here. Anyone out due to quarantine is still required to Zoom if available. That should have been in your email.
I did not receive any notification that was posted.
I got it. I got it on the app. I got it on Outlook.
So that should have went to your email. It's supposed to have been.
I got stuff from Ido and last week.
So yeah, this should have been sent to email.
I didn't get it either.
Check your junk folder. Did it go to the junk folder? Because in the past, it's always been to both your email and
I have something from an army.
Me too. But I did get it from the FCB app.
I also funded it.
interesting. Look right here. Check your inbox and announcements for updates every time you log into Canvas. You're supposed to, at least 2 to 3 times a week, 3 times a week, since this is a 3-time-a-week course. I really thought these announcements went to, they used to go to email. I don't know why they don't go to email. So how about y'all check this? Do you have a view course notifications? Do y'all have that? Yeah, view course notifications. Some are inherited from your account level notification. What's your account level notification? Do I have to configure it? Okay, so if I turn that on, did y'all have to turn it on yours?
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't realize it was auto turned on. It used to be auto turned on.
I'm out of.
So am I sharing my screen and still recording? Apparently. Oh, well, whoever's watching the YouTube, they shouldn't have gotten sick. They didn't follow the social distancing rules and masking mandate rules, right?
Yeah, Lucas. There's some dates.
So that person I was talking about that was in, that had COVID, the coworker's son, he passed away. Early 30s, I believe, was his age. I consider that still pretty young. So 3.5 weeks battling it in the hospital.
One of the Little Rock City board of directors member died. That's in that.
She was 91.
She was old as fuck.
And they didn't say she had COVID, but
She technically.
probably, maybe. Oh, some of the building's pretty old.
It's, yeah, it's a pretty old building. Got some pretty cool pictures of it. Like folks from Dougie's and shit.
So, and a really, really old person died in Little Rock. Okay.
She was really racist. It's okay. She
Oh.
was so racist.
Okay.
Didn't really lose much there.
No, dude, we probably gained a lot. It's so bad.
Local water parks, just everybody just all gets along. Like, come on, look at this. You just don't look at the news. Look at the local people here at the water park. Everybody's nice to each other.
Spreading COVID result.
Yep.
Is it survivable?
Oh, it's so bad.
So we've been talking about, we covered in NFS shares, server message blocks, SMB. It's actually CIFS now, Common Internet File System, instead of SMB. Common Internet File System added some extra security on top of it, and also allowed encrypted communications and stuff, and signed communications to help prevent man-in-the-middle attacks. But it's just basically an upgrade of the SMB protocol. And not too many people like to say CIFS. They still just like to call it SMB. Even here, it's titled SMB. And I don't see anywhere where it says Common Internet File System anywhere. They're still calling it SMB. But it's actually CIFS now. So we're going to look at quotas. Y'all remember quotas? No? Good. Maybe we didn't cover it in Land 1. We're going to deal with quotas. So let's go ahead and log into our server 1. Microsoft has implemented a new quota system, which is pretty awesome. Their legacy quota system, however, I'll show you where it's at, just in case you get into the IT groups that don't know about the new quotas. There's definitely a possibility of that. There's some idiots out there. It's kind of possible. So if you open up File Explorer and you go to properties of one of your drives, one of your volumes, as we call it, a volume, then you have a quota tab. This is legacy quotas. It's enabled per volume. and per user. So, yeah. Any folder that you share off of that particular volume that you have a quota set on, it sees that all as one single quota. So a little bit not that great. And it is individual users have quotas. So if you need a particular user to have a different limit, you have to go to that particular user and set a limit on that particular user. So this is legacy, and recommend not using the legacy quota anymore. I used to not have it. Can't remember, it was like 2003. I don't remember 2000 server. I know NT 4.0 did not have quotas because this dude from Little Rock called in and was complaining he got fired from his job, talking into the Corey and Jay show. Of course, Corey and Jay show is no longer. One of them got cancer and retired, and I don't know if he's still alive or not. I think one may be still on the air. I don't know, I just remember them because they were the ones that I was listening to when the World Trade Center got hit. And there's also the same show I was listening to, and this dude complained about being fired. So he was fired because the company's website and ordering system and all sold to customers shut down for about 2 or 3 days. He was the cause of it. He should have been fired. It's back when Napster first came out. Company had a T3 line, which was 45 megabit line, which was just unheard of speed back in the day. About the fastest you could get. So he said, download everything off of Napster. Like, download the internet. And he stored it onto the home folder on the server. Because, you know, he probably had a 800 meg drive or something like that in his PC back then. So he said, download everything, put it on the home folder. Server's got lots of space. And then he had CDs. So he's trying to burn the music to CDs, but the 45 megabit line was faster than you could burn to your 2x CD burner. You know, 15 minutes to 20 minutes to burn a CD. So he was downloading faster than he could pull the stuff off and put them on the CDs. Well, the server filled up. What happens with Windows NT? C drive fills up, it blue screens, crashes, shuts down. So they had to bring like a forensics team in and get the drive and figure out why it won't boot up and what's going on. They figured out that the drive was 100% utilized, and they had to go through, and these are plattered drives and stuff. It may have been a RAID system, so who knows what they had to do to get the RAID controller to load up and then actually examine what was on the system. You're looking like, where's the data at? What the heck happened? And then they finally come across this folder. And it was full. Then they fired him because they got to clean out all the illegal music and then boot the system back up. I think they said they told them they lost like $2.3 million in sales. So I blame the IT person because without quotas, he should have had a separate partition, a D drive or something, or a second hard drive in that server, and not shared anything off of C drive where the operating system is. But I learned some IT stuff listening to the radio and rock on the way to school. Cool. Not so school, or was I working then? I don't remember if I was working. I think I was actually working at that point in time, probably doing both. But either way, so Microsoft finally implemented quotas, helped out a little bit. You could prevent people from loading up the system. But now that's legacy, and they built new quota system, which is really cool. So I have this public share right here. And the quota system is a new tool. So right here, we can click a little link to launch the tool. Configure a quota directly on the public folder. This is different in that it sets quota per folder and not per drive. So that's cool. You can automatically create and apply quotas for all users. And you can use a pre-built-in quota. So we'll set 200 meg limit. It's going to report to user. It's automatically set up to do 85%. Send an email, 95%. Create an event in the event viewer and also send an email. And then when they hit 100%, create an event, email, and then create a report for the admin to look and see what's going on with that. Looking at this a little bit, they have a hard limit of 200 megabytes. There are hard limits and soft limits that you can set. Soft limit means you're just going to be warned. You can put more stuff on there. So normally you hit a soft limit and then a hard limit above it. So let's just apply this default quota for right now. Hit OK. Well, that's pretty easy to do. Although, what if you didn't want a 200 meg hard limit? What if you wanted a 203 meg hard limit? You know, that wasn't an option. We'll look at how to do that in a little bit. On Wednesday, we created a share and mapped it on our client machine. Let's go look at our client machine now. If you remember from Wednesday, it showed that we had 8 gigabytes available. If we connect in and look at it now, looks like I'm going to have to log out and log back in. Still not showing up. So did it apply it? Let's do some troubleshooting. It should have a maximum size here of 200 meg. We shouldn't. That's on server 3. Let's go back and check and do some troubleshooting on server 1. So it's automatically applied and enabled. Let's use the quota management tool. So go under tools, go down to your file server resource manager tool, which it looks like we may not have it installed. So I don't see that installed. Let's go ahead and go to manage and add or remove features, roles and features. And let's add our tool onto server 1. Thought I built this out and already had these features. So go down to feature section, not role section, but down to feature section. And under features, there's a remote server management. And a role administration tools. And then we keep drilling down and we have a file services tools. We have File Server Resource Manager. That needs to be selected. So it's remote server admin tools, arrowed. Open up the role administration tools because quotas and file services is a role that we installed. And open up file services tools. Add in File Server Resource Manager. Let's go next and install. With the Windows 10 client machine, we could easily go to add or move, or go to application properties, add or move programs, not called add or move programs anymore. What's it called? It's called apps and features. And we could add in the remote administration tools into Windows 10 and have server manager and all of that, but we don't have internet access. So it's a little bit more difficult to get it working. Microsoft assumes everybody has internet now. They want to move away from standalone installers. Once that tool is installed, you can find it under the tools menu, File Server Resource Manager. We get an error. Why? It's trying to connect to server 1. We don't have file server installed onto server 1. We installed it on server 3. How do we fix it? What would you do right here at this point? I hear crickets. Well, he's trying to figure it out.
Can you connect it to server 3?
Right click, connect to another computer, and type server 3. Uh-oh, firewall. So if you fail to connect, we need to go examine the firewall. That's being blocked. We did this in LAN 1. How do we get to the LAN 1? We went to all servers, clicked on server 3, right clicked on it and launched Windows PowerShell. That's one way. We could use group policy too. Let's do the group. Yeah, let's do the group policy. Let's exit. Let's do the group policy. Chapter 8, 2 chapters ago, covered group policy. You can use group policy to deal with the firewall. So we launched the Windows Firewall tool, Windows Defender Firewall with Advanced Security under the Tools menu. And what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and export the policy. It's currently set. We're going to save it in our documents as firewall template. Once you have it exported, we'll go into the Group Policy Manager. Our server 3 is in the server's organizational unit. And that's the one that is having the firewall issue that's blocking us. So we're going to create a new policy here, create a new GPO in this domain, link it here. And we're going to do firewall policy for member servers. I don't know why I capitalized the W. There we go. Firewall policy for member servers. Or some name that makes sense to your IT department. And now we edit the policy that we just created because it's blank. And I'm going to show you why we had to export the firewall rules. Let's also look at some logical thinking here. We have computer configuration and user configuration. Well, if we look, what's inside of the server's OU? Computers. So there's your critical thinking. You got to be able to put that piece together and relate it over here to the policy that you're creating that has two different components. Computer or user configuration. The only thing that makes sense for us to modify is computer configuration because that's all that's in the server's OU. So you got to have that thought process and be able to put two and two together. What am I doing here? So I'm messing with the computer policy so I can ignore users. I'm going to collapse it. No point in looking at it. I'm going to expand out the policies here. And I'm going to start looking for firewall policies. So policies, Windows settings, and Windows security is likely the place that we will find Windows Defender Firewall with advanced security. So as we look in here, are there any rules? There are no rules. This is why I exported the rules from a server. If I was going to do this for client machines, I would export it on a Windows 10 machine and upload it like to the public share folder so I could come and import it. Or if I was on my Windows, likely I'd be on my Windows 10 machine anyway, just export it to my documents folder and upload it into group policy. So I'm going to right click this Windows Defender Firewall, the same thing we right clicked before in the tool. And I'm going to import policy. It's going to overwrite everything. Oh no, well there's nothing there. So yes, I want to go ahead and overwrite. Yes, I want to import the policy. It took me right to my documents folder. I'm going to highlight that we just exported and click open. I thought we did this in LAN 1 last year, but I don't remember. Because, you know, when you teach year over year, did I teach all this? Did I teach another group this? I don't know. That's why I decided, yeah, we want to go this route. Okay, so I'm going to click over here to inbound rules. Okay, so all these Active Directory domain controller stuff, I'm going to highlight. I'm going to go ahead and delete those rules because they don't exist. On server 3. File and printer sharing's opened up. File server remote management is already open. Remote desktop here for domain. Uh-oh. Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Jumped on me. Why did it jump on me? That's weird. It just changed up when I clicked. I'm going to highlight all of these remote desktops and let's see if I can't do them individually. Let's go to each one and scope. Nope, not scope. Where's put it on domain under advanced. So as you see, firewall rules, they're a little bit faster, or maybe easier for you to look at and manage versus running PowerShell and getting and looking at them all. Do you remember where we had to get all of them and type them to a select statement, select a few columns and enable them? Y'all don't remember PowerShell. Yeah. Wait, Mike. So this is just another way it's a graphical way to mess with the rules. I selected domain, so they're only going to open up remote desktop for domain connected computers. That way, internet connected computers and other networks would be blocked. And there may be several remote things that we have to turn on and off. There's a bunch of remote stuff here. I want all these remote enabled. I wish there was a quick way to change all of them to, sure there would be a PowerShell way, change them all to domain level. Let's not worry about that. We're in a lab. It's what you would do in production. We've already switched a few of them to domain level. Let's go and just highlight them all and enable all the remote. You wouldn't do this in a production. You go to each one and make sure that the profile that the firewall was allowing connections in on was set to domain. Okay, let's go ahead and cool. Once you got that set, let's check out our, see if it works. I'm going to launch a PowerShell on server 3 and do a GP update. I didn't seem to update it. So pull into policy. It's under servers. It's policy not listed. File server. It's file server remote management. It's not file server resource manager management. New rule. Predefined. Let's try another route. Let's go. Okay, so got the route we need to do. On server 3, open a PowerShell window. Type in the following command. Type in set net firewall rule dash display group. With an opening single quote. Type in Windows Defender asterisk ending the single quote. Followed with dash enable and the word true. Did that work? With no errors? If that worked with no errors, you should be able to access the firewall rules on server 3 that it's got, and we can export those, replace what we just did. Click on your little search bar, type in MMC period. I don't know what's going on with this, but it won't let me just click and run the command. I have to right click and open file location on the MMC toolbox. This is something we should have learned in LAN 1, chapter 3. So last semester, chapter 3 is when we learned about the MMC console. If you forgot about it, it's your little toolbox, like you go to Lowe's, buy a toolbox, and you gotta go buy your tools and put in it. So you can go do whatever job you're going to do. Put plumbing tools in it, put wrenches and stuff in it for auto mechanic, put soldering irons and punch down tools and stuff for an IT person, you know. So we're going to open this location and just double click the MMC. This is all done on server 1, Tristan. So you had an error when you typed the command. Okay, hit your up arrow. Let's see what error you've got. It should be hooked up arrow enough to, unless you, oh, there we go. Set net firewall rule. You have a dash space. Those are switches, so take the, and also dash enabled. It has to be no space. It's dash enable with no space. There you go. There you go. Now hit enter. It should. Okay. Yep, that should work. So now you can search for the little MMC with the magnifying glass down there. MMC period. And then you right click, open location, and just double click the file. I don't know why it's not just launching, must be security or something from Microsoft's added in. So once you got the tool, you go to File, Add or Move Snap In, go all the way to the bottom, and go and click on your Windows Defender Firewall. Third up from the bottom, click Add, and select Server 3. Once it's selected, go and just open it. Let's go and export this now. This will pull the firewall out of server 3. Export policy. Go and replace the, well, I'm going to name mine fixed. So in IT, your first stab at something may not work. As you see, it didn't quite work. What do you do when that happens? Quit, give up. I didn't give up. I was like, this isn't working. I'm not seeing all the right rules. I tried to add a rule. It says, well, the rule wasn't even a predefined rule. Something wasn't going right. So I'm like, what can I do? What can I do? I need to connect to server 3 and pull the firewall policies off of server 3 then. So that's what we've done. I couldn't connect to it, and I'm like, well, I can't connect to it because the firewall is blocking me. So go ahead and fall all the way back to my command shell, PowerShell, open up the firewall rule so I can get Windows Defender Firewall, remake the connection, export it, Now I'm going to go back to my group policy. Edit the group policy. Policies, Windows settings, security settings, Windows Defender firewall. And we're going to go ahead and import and replace what we just did. Import policy. Yes. Import the one that's fixed, hit open. That's a little bit more legitimate. I told you if you're on a Windows 10 machine, you want to control Windows 10 firewall, you should pull it off a Windows 10 machine. Should have took the advice. If I'm on a member server, I should connect to a member server and pull it off of it. Should not have pulled the policy from domain controllers and try to use it in place of a file server. Now, this is all the server 3's policies, the ones that are enabled and disabled. You right click and import. And then hit the OK button to overwrite. And then browse to your documents folder and click on the policy to import it.
I think if I got a bit off track here somewhere.
Okay.
So got the NOC. We added
Yes.
the new snap in, put that in there at this point.
So it's on server 3. So did you right click and export? Yeah, export policy. And then I just clicked on that file up there, template, and I added _fix at the end. And then hit save. Windows Defender firewall could not export the policy. There are no endpoints available from the endpoint mapper. That looks like maybe okay, so it didn't map. Let's go ahead and exit. Set net firewall rule display group Windows Defender star enable true. So that does look okay. I'm going to reconnect. Maybe connected before you set the firewall. Maybe. I don't know why that's doing that. Okay. So why is yours not working like everybody else's? What did you do?
What did you do? What did-
Maybe if we put the full name out there. Oh, it's break time. Anyway, let's take a break. Account service. Black ribbon. Okay. Leave it more with all. There was a buzz and then a disconnect. Okay, I'm gonna try to continue fixing yours. Go back, open your server one back up. Okay, so full screen. Server 3. You're connected to server 3, so why can't? Okay, both of those are running. Was it display group? Display name on your screen. Rick. What did I put?
Sorry, are you asking me literally? It's display name.
Okay. I was comparing running, stop. Maybe sec, running, stopped.
Right.
When all else fails, restart the system.
Gotcha.
It's restarting. Should be restarting. Wait, did you restart server 1?
Yeah.
No, I was restarting server 3, I thought. Or did I restart server 3 on my computer? I don't know. It's too many screens up here. Yay, okay, so let's try it again. think it pulled the policy and cleared all your rules. Here we go. When all else fails. I can put it on my share. Windows folder. So if you weren't able to get the fix, you can get it from my share folder. This is WAC server, the WAC BB-106. Not that. It's my computer name again. BBAT106 instructor. Share Windows, and you can copy that firewall fix, paste it into your server one. So there's your fix. If you couldn't connect to it, copy the pre-built file. Everybody working on that? Copying that file? Put it into your server one. You have to enable enhanced session mode.
Get it right.
We just did that, right? That's if we.
Yeah, if you were successful at that. Lucas,
Lucas.
yep. You're right there, you bounced in. Everybody said hi. And I'm recording this too, so. Did somebody text him? And tell him about the announcement? But for some reason, it wasn't coming an email. Tristan. Okay, did you go to my computer and copy that into your server one? Okay, go to access my computer, copy that into your server one, put your server one into enhanced session mode, allow you to copy and paste stuff between your host machine and my machine. And copy this into there. So you have to first go to your file explorer on your host machine and BBAT106 instructor. The 2 backslashes. Just click on it, it's already there. Yeah, go under, it's under share in Windows. You should just right click, copy that firewall template fix. And then go to your server one, make sure it's in enhanced session mode and paste it into your documents folder. There on server one. Yep. And just click on it, open policy, import it. Okay, so I think we're all at the point of being right here, right clicking, importing policy, importing the fixed policy, hitting OK. Policy imported successfully. So there's all the policies from server 3. And coming down here to file server remote management, enabling those policies. And then coming down here to remote file server resource manager management and enabling all of those policies.
There's two remote desktop.
Is probably good. I think I want to enable this remote volume management too. Remote service management? Sure, why not? All those remotes, remote task. These remote event viewers, they look pretty cool to enable. Like I said, this here, the profiles for all internet, private, and domain level. Said if you're doing it production, you'd edit each one of these and knock them down to where you're only opening it up for the domain connected computers. Okay, with those enabled, go and do a GP update on your server 3. I didn't mean to do it a third time. Still not having that enabled.
You concerns again.
I think it's just replicating between the two servers, I believe. Mine connected to server 2, it said, as I was editing this. I think it's just a replication issue right now, just the timing. Because these here are enabled to allow. It's just taking a bit. Apparently server 3 is talking to server 1 and it hasn't got the replication over. Easy way to test that out. Check out the policies for which policy was created today. This one right here. In the future. That wasn't today. That was the 8th. There we go. Still in, wait, no, 8:32 a.m. There's 9:17, the machine account. So, okay, that's looking good. But what if I go look at server 1? Is it still 9:17 on server 1? Yeah. That's the policy. Okay, that looks good. Maybe just randomly looking at it. I'm gonna run it one more time. Firewall policy should. About to restart. It's Windows. Trying one more thing. Sync. Yeah, I'm gonna restart it. So I could reboot it already. What?
What now, Mr. IT man?
Group policy is supposed to work.
Supposed to.
Can we just change it to true? Manually?
We could. That's not how it's supposed to work, though. So troubleshooting.
Things in the lab don't work.
Troubleshooting. Let's go to group policy management.
On number one.
Yep. Let's go down here to group policy results. And this should have been part of chapter 8 too. I don't know if y'all did this in chapter 8. It's cool and something's not working. How do you fix it? Because you will have stuff like this in your IT career. You'll go in like, this is the way it's supposed to work. I've done it before. It doesn't work. What's going on? So group policy results. Let's go into a group policy results wizard. We're going to move on through this. We're going to select another computer and select server 3. We can choose a user. Let's go and just keep the Condoso administrator as the user. Click next. Click next and finish. So it's going to generate us a report on what policies are being thrown to server 3. It communicated with server 3, asked it, hey, pull a GP update, and it read everything that it was receiving. So no errors were detected. Computer policy, user policy. Let's scroll on down. So we have count policies were pulled. These are all the different policies. And over here at the winning GPO, it tells which group policy object won the battle. If there's multiple that have to contend, which one actually set the value. Windows Firewall with advanced security. Firewall policy for member servers 1. domain profile settings, global settings, domain profile settings, inbound, outbound. File and printer sharing. Yeah, this is all of the firewall rules. Remote event, multi-cluster. Windows Defender firewall, remote management. No, I'm looking for remote.
No, file service resource manager. Enable, true. Mine's further up. File server will not be. So,
Why did I not see mine? Remote file server, resource manager management.
true.
Firewall policy for members. Inbound rule. Well, true. And it's the winning GPO. Allow. Check one other. Well, before I go any further, I'm just going to see if the tool opens. Tell me false, but it opens and works. What? What Windows? You're lying. Windows lies to you?
All right, back to quotas.
I'm annoyed.
Let's get Windows on the phone right now. Who's in charge of this bullshit?
Very annoyed.
The bill on the phone.
Yep. Just whatever, Microsoft. So we're troubleshooting. Yeah, black screen's good. I'm just not look at anything. We're troubleshooting a reporting error. But if you've not used that group policy results wizard, it's a very, very useful tool. especially as your domain gets bigger and bigger and you have lots and lots of policies and you have 3 or 4 different policies applying to the same user or to the same computer, it tells you the winning GPO. So if you're not getting the right results, you can run it, figure out what's the GPO that's actually setting those settings for you and go edit it directly. And then when Windows tells you that no, firewall's blocking everything, don't look here. It just, no, it lied. That's annoying. I'll look at one other thing, still just. So it could definitely just be a bug, and Microsoft, I've not ever seen it break like that. We don't even have an outbound rule for that conflict. So it's being reported false. Quotas are great. Can't learn without just keep on digging, and it's like, what the heck?
You can change the quota template. That's what we were talking about, right?
Yes,
We were talking about,
quotas.
we wanted at 203 megabytes, said 200. How can we fix that? And then the firewall.
The graphical firewall shows that they're enabled.
Quotas.
I just don't know why PowerShell is reporting wrong. It's broke. I don't like it. It definitely sounds like a bug. Major bug problem.
3 megabytes of vulnerability.
Okay, so really easily and quickly here to finish out. Well, no, we have 2 weeks for this chapter. That's why. Bugs. Gotta squash them. Quota templates here. Quota templates. If you want to change it to do 205 meg instead of 200 meg template, what would you do? Well, you come down here to quota templates first. And you can create a new template.
Or you can edit.
And you don't want to edit a template.
You do what you want.
So-
You're the admin.
We picked the 200 meg limit that was closest to what we wanted, and we click copy. We give it a new name. 205 megabyte limit. Reports to user. And right here in this little limit, instead of 200, we change it to 205. We could also make any other modifications that we wanted with the reporting and stuff down below, but that's how you create a template. You go to an existing one, you copy it, give it a new name, preferably that matches the size, you know. Hit okay. So now I can just go down and select my 205 meg limit. Apply quotas, all derived quotas. Hit okay. There we go. So Dustin, you asked, how do you copy it? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
You go to new, you figure it out. New, create new quota, select it from the list, click copy, give it a new name, make your changes, hit save.
extra megs.
Could be really, really important. Okay, and then we were wanting to look at possibly a reporting error over here, Jane Doe. We have to log out and log back in. Why is that still? Let's log off and log back in. Whoops. Since Microsoft is wanting to just not report the correct stuff. I'm trying to make a file that's, see what happens if our hard quotas should work. It's not, it's going to break. No, it is. Only 444K, really? There we go. Let's see. If I copy and paste that, what happens if I paste again? Let's check on server one again. On server 3. Hard limit. No soft limit. So there's another bug I've not seen. Jane Doe should show it's 205 meg size for the drive letter P.
Bob doesn't either.
Is Bob still?
Still 90.
Not Bob Dole. Yep. Quota is supposed to be applied and limit the drive letter P down to 200 since we set a hard quota on it. automatically create and apply quotas for all users. On to public share. One more little weird test. I'm going to create a third user. Another minion. John Doe. John Doe is on the owner. It looks like I'm gonna have to research some bugs. 2016 worked. 2019 is causing some issues. So cool. I guess I'm the researcher over the weekend. How did Microsoft break everything? Lucas wants to know what he missed the first hour.
Not much.